The next big name to watch out for, Litecoin.
Litecoin? Like, honestly, like, I just do not understand why people watch this guy.
I think DOT is about to make a big run. I don't know
What the
why.
fuck,
I just
man?
something in
like,
my jail.
Polka dot. $4 is like, it has been $4 for basically 3 years. Today, I am going to be roasting crypto YouTubers' top picks. Do you have potential to make 100 to 1000x with these crypto YouTubers, or are you investing in total irrelevant shite? Now you're probably thinking, Suppo, aren't you a YouTuber? Yes, I am, for 8 years. And within those 8 years, I have called the biggest multiplying cryptos of all time. And even in this bull market, I have made numerous 100x plus gains, with one even being over 2000x. And this doesn't even cover my latest picks. I'm going to be roasting the picks of House of Crypto, No BS Crypto, Lark Davies, and Alex Becker. Now, if you love content like this and want to see more of it, make sure you smash a like on this video. If we get to 5,000 likes, I will be giving 3 people $1,000 of any crypto they want. And make sure that you subscribe. And if you have subscribed, leave me a comment to say, I have subscribed and I want X tokens, so I know what you want and who to give it to. Now, having been a crypto influencer for the past 8 years, what I get is a lot of VCs and marketers offering me discounts on top altcoins in the hope that I will cover them over multiple videos. Now, I do not take these deals, but what I have noticed is that most of them do take these deals. With the privilege of being an influencer, they get the cheapest prices and they get you to buy their bags much more expensive. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll exit liquidity, but it does mean you are going to make mediocre gains. So in roasting all of these crypto YouTubers picks, I'm going to be putting each pick into this tier list. Slam dunk means the potential to 100 or even 1000x your money. Strong means this has excellent gains potential, anything from 30, 50 or 70x. Solid means 10, maybe 20x. Meh means you may make some gains, but this is irrelevant and no one cares about it. Shite means it is just a pile of shite. They're horrible coins, not going to make you decent money, and if you hold them, you should probably can them and find a better opportunity. As usual, nothing I say is to be construed as financial advice. Crypto is largely unregulated and high risk, and people who invest should be prepared to lose all their money, and everything I say to you in this video is for informational and educational purposes only. So firstly, we're going to be looking at House of Crypto's picks.
So in number 1 spot, my biggest holding, Sui, $11.6 billion market.
Sui, in my opinion, is this cycle's Solana. I think this is the most exciting and has the most room for growth and therefore gains. In my opinion, this is a solid cryptocurrency. I believe this has the potential to make 10x plus from here.
Now next up, and one that's probably going to be like, what are you talking about? Why would you be holding this? Now, in the past, I've told you that I was holding Bitcoin and other assets. I've actually moved away pretty much from Bitcoin completely into Ethereum. Ethereum market cap 360.
It's quite fair to say that Ethereum is not the strongest blockchain anymore. Solana, in my opinion, has overtaken Ethereum for that mantle. Having said that, Ethereum is potentially going into the euphoria phase as a deflationary cryptocurrency. As a result of that, I would say that Ethereum is a solid coin. I have about 6% of my portfolio in Ethereum because I believe that this is going to double its previous highs.
Now next up, Aptos, $3.1 billion market cap.
Aptos is one of the newer layer 1s that utilizes the Move programming language just like Sui. It just so happens that Sui has had the greater market adoption, more commercial appeal. The meme ecosystem blew up, whereas for Aptos it never did. Now I think Sui is the one that's taken off. I don't think that Aptos is a shite cryptocurrency, but I do think it's meh.
Okay, next up, Aether, $459 million market cap.
Now, I'm an investor in Aether. Now, Aether is a decentralized GPU for AI and gaming projects. So Aether is a deep-in cryptocurrency. Deep-in, I would say, is one of the more bottom-of-the-rung narratives in this bull market. The strongest two, memes and AI cryptocurrency. Now, where I see that this has a little bit of a chink in its armor is the fact that it concentrates in the AI field. Now, if there was a gaming narrative, which I think there will be, then I think that this has solid potential, but there are a lot of competitors in decentralized GPU. What will allow this to do well is the fact that so many influencers did get into this early and they're going to be talking this up. But would I invest in it today? Probably not.
Next up, Grass. Deep in again, $492 million.
Now, I've never personally looked at Grass, but what I understand of it is that you can rent internet connectivity. It's a deep-in project that allows for decentralized internet usage. So instead of using internet providers that you may have in your country, you actually use a decentralized model that could end up being cheaper for you. Having said that, I've not heard much mention of Grass. In fact, I think the only person I've ever heard talk about Grass is House of Crypto. And as a result of that, I don't think that it's a shite coin. The market does not really like unsexy technological cryptos right now. They love cryptocurrencies with normie appeal, which AI and meme coins have, and as a result of that, I would say at this point, Grass is a meh cryptocurrency.
Now on to the next one, sticking with the deep in theme. Walrus, a decentralized storage solution built on
What the fuck? Now I'm not gonna lie, I've never ever heard of Walrus, and I'm a massive Sui fan. And that just says to me, this has absolutely zero excitement, zero relevance. It's a deep-in cryptocurrency. Now, it may be built by the guys at Miston Labs, and those guys are the guys that created Sui. So you can tell technologically, this is probably fantastic. But I would say that even though it's not shite because it's out of Sui cryptocurrencies, other than Sui itself, are not that relevant. And I believe that coming into the next period of bullishness for Sui, there's going to be a new wave of meme coins that are more exciting and that people are actually going to trade. And I don't think they're going to give a crap about a deep-in infrastructure like Walrus. So I'm going to say, although not shite, this is meh. And at 700 million market cap. I mean, come on! That is ridiculous. That's got zero chance of making you decent money.
Now on to the last one, $1.9 billion market cap. WorldCoin. Now I know
What?
people are not necessarily that keen on the concept of what WorldCoin's doing, but I feel the world's moving in one direction and you've just got to understand that it's going to happen whether you like it or not. And that's because WorldCoin allows you to do proof of humanity. Now you're probably thinking to
Who
yourself,
cares? Now WorldCoin came out a couple of years ago as this kind of AI biometrics cryptocurrency project. It launched at a huge market cap and it stays at a huge market cap. I mean, let's just put it into perspective. This is 1.9 billion. You've got incredible layer 1 compute cryptocurrencies like ICP at that level. And this pile of junk that has a very limited use case in cryptocurrency is at 2 billion market cap. It just goes to show literally how stupid the market is and what whale investors will put their money in. In my personal opinion, this is shite. This will make you very little money. It'll probably have a 3 or 4x spike at some point in the market, simply because it's an AI coin, but this I would not touch. And that concludes my look at House of Crypto. Now, this video is called Crypto Portfolio, my personal portfolio of altcoins part 1, large cap alts. So it's not a surprise that none of these exceeded solid. I don't see any of the cryptocurrencies he has mentioned doing much more than a 20x. I do think that House of Crypto, otherwise known as Peter Anthony, I do actually think he is a respectable YouTuber. He's English, so obviously I have an affinity with him. He's a very nice guy to speak to. Having said that, I don't think that if you want to be a millionaire from investing very little, you're going to get it from any of these picks. Next up, we have got No BS Crypto. Now, I've got to say that I am impressed with his grind. He has community farmed a lot of the major altcoins, and as a result of that, he now has nearly as many subscribers as me. And I remember a year ago, he had around about 50 or 60,000. But what I will say is that the altcoins that he does talk about are so high in market cap. They are the most major talked about cryptocurrencies. And these are the types of cryptocurrencies that aren't going to make anybody rich. It's just going to make them probably outperform stocks.
Now, for a slight hidden gem, I guess you could say, because this coin is under a 500 million market cap, it's Aerodrome Finance. Many of you know Aerodrome. It is essentially the de facto decentralized exchange on Coinbase's.
Aerodrome is a DeFi cryptocurrency, and I think DeFi is one of those very, very low interest, low excitement, wealth preserving narratives. You know, only the whales love DeFi, and none of the retail investors do. They find it very, very boring. I don't think it's a terrible cryptocurrency, but I would say it is very meh. Because this is DeFi. Who cares about DeFi? And even more irrelevant, it's kind of on base. I would struggle to see this doing anything more than a 3x.
Now, speaking of DeFi and speaking of base, we have the next best contender in my personal opinion, which is Morpho. Morpho is actually the same sort of market cap as Aerodrome right now, and this kind of would be a bit of a hidden gem for many of you who aren't familiar with base or its ecosystem.
Honestly, until this video, I had never heard of Morpho. I have absolutely no idea how this is near $500 million market cap when this is a DeFi borrowing and lending platform. Like, to me, this just reeks of boredom. Like, I just don't like the idea of this call. I've never heard of it, ever. Now, I personally think this is a shite cryptocurrency. Like, who would realistically invest in this crap?
Let's shift lanes a little bit here and look at a coin called Plume. Now, Plume, again, like Aero, like Morpho, is a smaller cap. Actually, it's about half their size at about a 250 million market cap. But this is a layer 1. It's a modularity coin, which means that it kind of breaks apart the unique aspects of a blockchain.
I've heard of Plume, but I've never looked into it. So basically, it's an EVM compatible layer 1 for RWA. Now, RWA is expected to be one of the hot narratives. Now, I just don't see it personally compared to AI and memes, but I imagine a lot of YouTubers are going to be making a big fuss about RWA. And this being a layer 1 for RWA, therefore putting it kind of in the same bracket as Hedera Hashgraph, which is in the billions, this one has got room to the upside. But in my opinion, this is a meh cryptocurrency. I don't see this one doing anywhere near a 10x. Now, I have heard other YouTubers talking about Plume, and that's probably what's going to allow it to do its multipliers and why it got to where it has in the first place. But this is only going to really blow up in an RWA season. Otherwise, this will really go nowhere.
Really, I think highly sought after coin like Ondo is going to give this coin the potential to do a Cardano or Solana of the last cycle.
Ondo.
Going around 100 billion market cap. Now, it's my prediction, don't quote me on that, but of course, this coin out of tens of thousands, I think, is one of the top 5 to 10 that could possibly have a chance of doing this. So
now, being an Ondo holder myself, there's no point in me rubbishing this cryptocurrency for the sake of it. You know, I think that there is obviously massive institutional interest in this cryptocurrency. It is the leader of RWA coins. And simply because of that, I imagine that this is a solid cryptocurrency. I could see this potentially doing a 10x. I've got to admit, this does not have any normie appeal. If this should do a 10x, then a coin that I actually really like, which is Housecoin, which simplifies RWA for the normie, right? It's basically an AI RWA coin. I think that has got a 100x chance if this is to do a 10x.
AI, I've got to mention Render. Now, the reason why is because
another
this is an
typical
AI
one.
Coin. It's in the Solana ecosystem, which is going to be a big buzz for the rest of this cycle, and it's also a DePIN coin. It also has insane ties. It's tied to literally CEOs that are the owners of the UFC, WWE. Okay, over here, OpenAI.
I'm going to give props to No BS Crypto on his explanation of why he thinks that Render has explosive potential. Now, I think that Render is a meh in terms of multiplier potential. It is a solid pick in terms of its wealth preservation. You know, this is going to make you money. It's going to allow you to outperform the stock market. But I don't think that big, huge multipliers is coming for this and as high as 10x. Just no way. I think that there is a finite amount of money flow that's going to be coming into the cryptocurrency market. And not every cryptocurrency is going to be able to share it. And as a result of that, I would say that Render has got the chance to do a potential 5x, but I don't see it doing more than that.
Now, an AI coin that I think has been swept under the rug recently is ICP, and that's because most people just think of it as a layer 1. As a matter of fact, most people discredit it because the all chart looks kind of gross.
I think that he is absolutely correct when he says that this is an overlooked cryptocurrency, and actually, so far, this is the best one that he has covered. I think ICP is a very solid cryptocurrency. I think this has got potential to do a 10, maybe even a 20x. Why? Simply because of the magnitude of the project. So this creates a whole decentralized internet. So basically the mirroring of the current Web 2 as a Web 3 environment. So every single website that exists in Web 2 can port over and be a decentralized business. Simply because Internet Computer is a supercomputer and super server. It is actually faster than Solana for transactions per second, and the AI link is, I think, what's going to make this really blow up in this cycle. Because they've got Caffeine AI coming up very shortly, which will allow people to create whole websites and whole businesses through AI prompts. So it's going to be a mixture of ChatGPT and Pump.fun, where people are not going to need any coding knowledge to build a website and build a business, because Caffeine AI is going to do all of that. And that's why I think Internet Computer has fantastic potential in this bull market.
The next coin is Injective. Again, I can just feel some of you guys cringing right now going, well, it's not a sub 100 million market cap coin, Current. I don't want to watch it. First of all, guys, if you want to see like degen micro cap picks, this isn't the channel for you.
You know, a lot of the cryptocurrencies that you see here are ones that I identified much earlier, and Injective is one of them. Like, Injective I covered in the last bull market, and at the time, Injective was about $1. Now it's $13, and in my personal opinion, most of the money was made even then. So I believe that moving forward, I think Injective is just kind of a boring cryptocurrency. It's a layer 1 built out of Cosmos, and I think it personally is just overhyped. A lot of big YouTubers and whales are incentivized to pump this up and create some liquidity, but to me, it just sits as boring. Like, it just does not have any of the kind of appeal of Sui or Solana. I don't see this as having any qualities that actually puts this as a forerunner, and I would say this is a very meh cryptocurrency.
As promised, Chainlink has to make this list, okay?
Of
Again, I
course.
don't have to repeat myself and say the reasons why I think this coin will still do high multiples, even at a 9 billion market cap.
Chainlink is an extremely solid cryptocurrency. You know, don't get me wrong. It's basically seen as the kind of Bitcoin of RWA and DeFi. But having said that, like, the money-making opportunities for Chainlink are so poor. And what I've noticed with No BS Crypto is all of these coins just have huge communities. And he keeps talking about them, which therefore makes him a bigger channel. And I would say that's his main incentive. So although I would say, you know, this is a solid coin, this was my slam dunk cryptocurrency from the last cycle, I would say probably going to be meh in terms of multipliers. Like, there's just so many millions of coins now that this one cannot possibly absorb enough to make more than, in my opinion, a 5x. And that concludes my look at No BS Crypto. Again, some solid and meh picks. But I would say this again corresponds with my opinion of crypto YouTubers, is that really what they do largely is engagement farming. They cover the cryptocurrencies with the biggest communities, they become subscribers, and then they just keep on pushing and pushing and pushing just to get bigger. You know, this is a common tactic that I have stayed away from because I want to make my audience actually rich. But what I liked about No BS Crypto is that at least he has strong rationale behind his coin picks. Next up, we are going to be looking at Lark Davis. Now, he joined the cryptocurrency scene about 5 months after I did back in 2017. Now, we were actually friends, and then he blocked me after I was criticizing all the YouTubers that were shilling Bybit referral links onto their audiences. And he took offense and he blocked me. And to be honest, I don't care about that, because he is the kind of opportunistic YouTuber that doesn't need to work for his money. Like, he makes these videos just simply so that he can shill referral links. So the likelihood is, content doesn't matter. He just needs to make sure that he uploads regularly so that more and more people join his referral links and makes him truckloads of money. So I expect for this to be an extremely lazy selection. So this video is called 7 crypto coins that will explode this summer.
To load up, so let's start with a couple of the big names. First off, Solana. I know what you're thinking, Lark. Solana gonna explode. What's it?
Like, just what is the point of mentioning Solana? Literally anybody can create a YouTube channel and just say Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Like, it's just not inspired, it's not insightful, it's not going to make his followers extremely rich. You know, I like Solana. You know, don't get me wrong, I think Solana is a very solid cryptocurrency, but it's just too obvious. We are more likely to be a meh cryptocurrency. It could exceed $1,000. It is a god tier cryptocurrency, but for gains potential, not huge.
The next big name to watch out for, Litecoin.
Litecoin, like, honestly, like, I just do not understand why people watch this guy. Like, he gets tens of thousands of views for utterly crap, uninsightful, boring, anybody could do crypto videos. Like, I just don't understand the appeal of watching this guy. Litecoin is a perfect example of crypto Lark generally. It's a lack of insight, a lack of kind of crypto intelligence. Like, it's just a poor choice. Why even use it? Like, I understand that, you know, with ETFs going on, they're going to be targeting major coins. Like, Litecoin is just so old, so haggard, and no one likes it. No one cares for it. It had a halving a couple of years ago, and it didn't even move. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even going to bother I'm not even going to bother listening to any more of that video, because I frankly don't want to give him the watch time. So the next one that he says is Pepe. I would say Pepe is a solid pick. Virtuals is his next one. Again, I would say this is for multipliers. It's already made quite a lot of multipliers. And I got in on this from the ground zero. I'd love nothing more than for this to actually be a solid cryptocurrency, but I think that this is going to actually achieve meh gains. His next one is Wormhole, which is basically a kind of multi-chain protocol that, again, I just don't think anybody really gives a rat's over. It's too high in market cap for anybody to care about or invest in. I'd say it's meh. And then last up, we have the kingpin himself, Alex Becker. Now, what I will say to you about Alex Becker is every video is exactly the same. It doesn't matter what the title is, it's the same video over and over. 20 minutes to half an hour talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then the last kind of 5 to 10 minutes talking about a load of other coins, like speed talking about them. So let's just see if this is exactly the same.
Solana, Cardano, hell, even Tron. And these are just things I would pick off the top of my head. I think Hype's going to do very well. Sui. As you know on this channel, we don't know how to pronounce Sui. Whenever I say the word Sui, I picture a Frenchman smoking a cigarette and just being like, yeah, it's Sui today. And that's how I picture it. So that's how we're going to say it. Sui! That's the coin. That's the name of it. It's on the...
So he rattled off a few names. Like, he said Tron, shitcoin. I really don't know why he mentioned Tron. Like, it lowers his crypto IQ. It lowers the perception of his ability to choose decent coins. Cardano's something that he has been slagging off for many, many years. All of a sudden, he's really, really bullish on. Hyperliquid, you know, this is definitely meh. You know, this coin is so overvalued. I really have no understanding why it's this is like halfway towards 100 billion. Like, what? Like, in what planet does that make any sense? Like, this is just, it's called hype, but it's the most overhyped. So it should just be over Hyperliquid. Like, you're not going to make money. Don't even bother trying with Hyperliquid. Like, it's just a shit pick.
If I had to pick any of them from here that's the most useful, it'd be Chainlink, because everything that's built has to use Chainlink. But if we're starting from the top, I'd go with Cardano, Hype, Sui, Chainlink, AVAX. I think DOT is about to make a big run. I don't know why.
Fuck,
I just something in my jail.
Polkadot. $4 is like, it has been $4 for basically 3 years. Like, there has been ramblings of Polkadot 2.0, which is likely to cause a bit of a price spike in DOT. Nothing major. You know, DOT is now, anyway, unsexy. You know, Sui and Solana have taken the mantle of infrastructures, and Polkadot has been left sorely behind. I would actually say that Polkadot is a shit cryptocurrency. There, I've said it. And why Alex Becker chose Polkadot, I mean, he says Tron, Hyperliquid, Polkadot. Like, what planet is this fucking guy on? Avalanche at this point, I would say, is meh, right? It's just not that solid anymore, right? You know, it is largely contingent on if there is a gaming season. Like, this is considered a layer 1 gaming infrastructure now. Like, there are some meme coins. There have been other types of cryptocurrency that have launched on Avalanche, but they've got zero adoption. You know, there was DeFi in the last cycle, and that really made Avalanche blow up. Because I got into it, it was like Wonderland time, and that made Avalanche really blow the roof off. But this year's going to be gaming, and if there's no gaming season, this is going to go nowhere. But even if there is a gaming season, you know, realistically, I could see this doing up to a 10x, but not a 10x.
And I think Monero, which is a privacy coin, which is basically money you can't track for everybody that's trying to hide everything they're doing, which is actually very important for crypto.
Like, to me, that just seals it. Like, you know, Alex Becker is a great personality. He's very, very entertaining. He's a fantastic engagement farmer and shit poster on X. You know, and the way that he is able to get such huge numbers of people to watch him on YouTube is a thing of marvel. You know, the guy is brilliant. at, this Andrew Tate kind of personality that people just gravitate towards, and they love his jokes. I love his jokes, don't get me wrong. But his crypto picks just suck. They suck so bad. They're terrible. And Monero, like, why would you say Monero? Like, that literally has brought your crypto IQ down to about 10. Really don't understand Monero. It's just the worst pick so far. The worst pick by a mile. And I'd even include Litecoin there. I dread to think what's next.
But if I wanted two kind of larger coins that are probably going to do very well and give giant returns, I would probably start at Destra Network, Zig Chain, and then I really, again, just a good old classic PAL. These are three really big things in AI right now.
He has mentioned Destra about 1 billion times in his videos. Like, he keeps mentioning it, it doesn't really do anything. And actually, today I've noticed that Alex Becker has completely sold out of Destra, and he's gone into a cryptocurrency called Gray. It's Gradient, and I believe it's a DeFi protocol again, and I don't understand why he puts Destra in here. Destra is really nothing special. It's like a decentralized GPU. There's millions of them. Like, the only reason this went anywhere is because he and Crypto God John, as a kind of tag team, really pumped this up. But it had its time. It made some money for, some of his followers. But, I think this one's dead. I think him selling out of it, pretty much proves it's dead. So Destra, pile of shit. Zig Chain, really another pile of shit. Like, powering the next era of decentralized asset management. Like, this is so boring. Like, no normie is going to see this and think, I got to have some of that. Like, they probably will look at Alex Becker's video and think, oh, he's going to talk about it, so I should buy it. But this is a junk cryptocurrency. Look, it's 130 million market cap with a volume of 5 million. Like, this is so dead and irrelevant. Nobody likes it. And, where it is right now, it's near its all-time high, for God's sake. This thing doesn't even bloody move. Like, just a shit coin. Unacceptable, in my opinion.
Right now, really well-known assets that are not going to go anywhere in the space. PAL's been around forever. Destra's been the hottest coin since forever. And Zig's a really new chain technology that could get to really high levels. It's particularly like the levels up here because it's in the same type of technology category as these larger chains up here. So if I was going to build a mini AI portfolio, that's just where I would be at. There's a ton of other AI coins I can talk about that we're investing in this channel. We'll get into this here in a second. Those are just some very simple recommendations. I would also maybe throw AOS into that. And if you want to research some of these coins up here, people always get mad at me for not mentioning like Internet Computer or Near or Virtuals. Those are all great coins too. I just think they're going to get similar gains to Tau, so I'm just going to be all in Tau. So if we're looking at RWA assets, this one's a little bit less developed, and I think the pumpier gains will actually be from RWA. I think AI is going to be much bigger, but I think the RWA gains are going to be higher multiples just because they're coming from a lower point right now. So where I would get started at in RWA I'd start at Ondo. Just keep it really simple. Get one of the bigger ones on here. I also really like, just from this list right here, Ori Chain. I think that's going to do numbers. I think Lumia is really good. And one coin I recently just got into and have been into for a while, but just got a really big bag of, is Clearpool. So much so that I've actually started consulting for them and advising that company as well, just being fully transparent right there.
Ori is a really aged layer 1 AI cryptocurrency. And, in these times where we've got, Tau and AI agents, like, no one has given a stuff about Ori. Like, Ori's crap, honestly. It's a really shit coin. PAL, another shit coin. Clearpool, awful. Clearpool is just one of your ordinary, bog standard DeFi lending platform. Like, it's just a pile of crap. And the only reason he's talking about it is because, he's kind of incentivized to do so financially. But otherwise, absolute shit. Tau is probably the only decent one that he spoke about. And I would say this is a mix of meh and solid. I'd go with solid, but I spoke about Tau when this was $30. It's now $300. Like, it's already made a lot of money. And to expect it to do another, 10x from here, I think that'd be a bit much. I would say, just over 5x, I would say.
Probably get more into it in my RWA video. That's probably going to be coming in the new studio
it's
next
not even
week
RWA.
sometime. But this ties deeply into loans, people moving around money. So that's where I would be starting at an RWA. I'd go Ondo, Clearpool, maybe some of those other things that I mentioned. I like Ori Chain. There's a lot of other ones on here that I think can do serious numbers. Pinlink, I think, is probably going to be one of the biggest
Pinlink
runners.
again.
This kind of has like the Destra effect in RWA.
So Pinlink is meant to be a combination of AI, DPIN, and RWA, where you can kind of fractionalize kind of DPIN infrastructures or DPIN services. And by fractionalizing or tokenizing it makes it an RWA play. But, when he first spoke about it, this did a pump. But only because it's a new coin. But I mean, he's spoken about it time and time again. He gets like 300k views per video. It doesn't go anywhere. To me, I would say that Pinlink, I wouldn't say it's shite as such, but I'd say it's very meh. So what you've got here is a bunch of cryptocurrencies that are really meh or shite. And we're talking about the top crypto YouTubers here. And this is what they kind of come up with. I've got to admit, I'll give it to No BS Crypto and House of Crypto because I think they've come up with kind of the better solid coins. Now, if you're looking for slam dunk, life-changing 100 to 1000x gains, where you'll find them is in meme coins. Most of crypto YouTube are trying to indoctrinate you against meme coins because this is the hardest playground. It's a casino. But this is where you can truly change your life. Look, a coin here has done a 425x. Now, I've come up with a cheat sheet to help you identify meme coins that have long-term potential. Coins that will excite the retail market when they enter during euphoria. Now, the most important thing is identity, where the retail investor feels some affinity with the community of that meme coin. Okay, it has to speak to them internally, spiritually. The meme coin should be grabbing an untapped and unique market because that means it's a first mover and it's going to take all the lion's share when potential community members are looking for identity coins. So the first meme coin I have got for you that I think has true viral potential is a coin called ASS. ASS is a cryptocurrency that appeals to people who love ass. Now, my best performer ever was Tits, which did a 2000x. ASS has the potential to have a much bigger community, more hodlers, and therefore achieve a greater market cap than the 500 million achieved by Tits. If you look on ASS's socials, then you will see loads and loads of pictures of ASS. Now, the marketplace for ASS is ginormous. The amount of people interested in adult content is over the billions. And as a result of that, the potential target market for ASS is huge. But more than that, ASS has that shock value name, just like Fartcoin. You tell somebody you've got ASS, they immediately will remember it, and posts have the potential to go absolutely feral, simply because it's a very visual coin and unlocks emotion. Now, a 2 million market cap, ASS has much more potential than all of these cryptocurrencies. This has slam dunk potential and could do a 100 to 1000x. Now, if you're looking for a cryptocurrency which has equal shock value, Fuck 9 to 5 is the one for you. Fuck 9 to 5 is exactly what it says it is. It's about breaking out from employment. It's about never having to work again, never having a boss, never having to work on schedules and deadlines. It's all about having financial freedom and generational wealth. Fuck 9 to 5 is definitely a movement. You are too valuable to work a 9 to 5 for 45 years. And that's the way of the world right now. With the cost of living the way that it is, everybody is a slave to their job. But Fuck 9 to 5 is about getting out of wage slavery, investing in a coin and becoming rich enough you never have to work again. Now at this point, Fuck 9 to 5 is only $2.7 million market cap. Most of the crypto YouTubers are talking about coins that are over 270 million. So because of the viral and shock value name and the fact that the movement is perfectly described by the coin name, I think that Fuck 9 to 5, when this reaches viral potential during the euphoria stages, this could easily 100x. Now, if you love utility coins, Omega Health is an AI doctor. The point of owning Omega Health tokens is to be able to have access to the first AI doctor, where your full health history is contained and follows you around everywhere. So no matter what country you go to, you are able to provide your medical history. There are billions of dollars being spent by Meta, Amazon, Google on the next big AI agents, and healthcare is one of the biggest areas being concentrated on, because nothing could be more valuable than an AI doctor that looks after your health, that provides you personal health plans, a personal diagnosis whenever you're feeling ill. Your AI doctor knows you better than any human ever could. When COVID happened, it changed how a lot of surgeries and doctors work, and sometimes they won't see you at all anymore. And it's all become very remote. So what Amiga Health does is it bridges the gap and gives you a personalized doctor you don't have to book an appointment for, you always have on hand. And by having Amiga Health tokens, you are going to be able to pay for the services. And again, at a $1.9 million market cap, if this goes to 19 million, it's going to be 10x. If it goes to 190 million, which is cheaper than even the lowest caps on here, that would be a 100x. Now, this is a first mover, so there is every likelihood that this could get the mass adoption. The Suppoman coin is a belief system, so although it is centered around me as a main character, really it's about the way of the degen. The type of person that wants to outperform all of those retail investors that are investing in high cap cryptocurrencies. We are living in the era of the degen. That's why we're seeing such incredible multipliers on meme coins, because people are looking to ape into cryptocurrencies that resonate with them. And if you are inclined to invest in high risk, high reward assets, you belong in the Suppoman community. Now, if you have 1 million Suppoman tokens, you are given access to my All Buys group, where I inform of every buy when I make them. And over the coming few weeks, I'm going to be revealing 3 new meme coins. And you go into my Telegram group, where you can chat with me. And no other Telegram group allows you to chat with me directly. So 1 million Suppoman tokens is very worthwhile. What's actually quite difficult with Suppoman is there is a scarcity of Suppoman tokens. So there are 800 million Suppoman tokens, and already 400 people have got 1 million Suppoman tokens and are part of the group. So that means the other half is going to be harder to obtain over time. So therefore, 1 million Suppoman tokens today is going to be a lot cheaper than when there's a supply shortage. As a result, again, of having a small market cap of 1.2 million, this definitely has 100 to 1000x, because I'm going to be talking about this at the most viral points of the market cycle. Low cap is a potentially viral cryptocurrency because the name of it is short and sharp and says exactly what it is. It's a low cap. Therefore, it's cheap and built for multipliers. Now again, low cap is all about creating a cult community of gen hunters, of degen believers and early scouts. And they have got a whole manifesto. So this is designed to attract a community of people who are looking for big multiplier coins. If you are the type of degen that prefers lower cap cryptocurrencies that have millionaire maker potential, then low cap is your type of coin. All of these other coins are never going to make you a millionaire. So low cap definitely has that slam dunk potential. It's an identity coin. If you are a degen, this is your type of coin. Then last of all, we have got millennial, the token of the 2000s. And this is to appeal to people that were kind of born in the 80s and 90s and grew up in the 90s and early 2000s. If you are a person of this era, and like 60% of my audience are, then you will recognize a lot of the characters in here, like Xena the Warrior Princess, Whoopi Goldberg, Pulp Fiction, Pamela Anderson from Baywatch. And this is a tiny market cap coin, not even $1 million at this point. So this has the potential to go absolutely rampant because this is an identity coin. People gravitate to what's relatable to them, to what's real and emotional to them. And therefore, Millennial sits at the forefront of an identity coin, a lot like how GigaChad and GigaChadette do. Plus, it unlocks that degen energy you can see via the artwork, via the kind of colours, the chaos, and anybody who is a fan of 80s, 90s and early 2000s fashion, film, TV, culture, society, like it was just such a better time. Like in this modern day world where everything's too expensive, society is separate, people are not showing love to each other, then people love to be nostalgic and think about times where they were at their happiest. And that is what Millennial embraces. And as a result of that, because of that quality and because of that attraction point, I believe this is a slam dunk cryptocurrency with 100 to 1000x potential. And that concludes today's video where I've roasted crypto YouTubers. I've looked at their calls and I've looked at the potential multiplier potential, and I want you now to be the judge. What would you rather invest in? Normie cryptocurrencies or those advanced, unsexy, technological, utility-based coins? Now, utility is good. It's good to have a balance, but what do you personally think that people will gravitate more towards, will want to be part of the community of, and feel embraced, loved, and included as part of that community? Let me know. Also, Did you think I was fair to the YouTubers I spoke about? Which was your favourite YouTuber that I covered? And what's your favourite coin? And if there are any coins that you think that I've given a particularly low rating to, again, let me know in the comments. Till next time, people, I've been the Suppoman. You have been amazing, and I'll see you next time. It is lights out, all out.